What's up? A happy Friday. It is Fandom Friday, and I'm super, super excited to be coming back. Last week, we did take a short hiatus for Valentine's Day, but now we are back with our second episode of Fandom Friday, which is a series where we come and we talk about our favorite fandoms, nerdy things, geeky things, while drinking some wine. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm your host, Tiara, aka T, the Wine Diva. And this gentleman right here is
I'm Jay.
Jay. This is my main squeeze, my bottom. I don't know.
Whoa,
I'm not.
bottom what?
I'm not. I don't know if I'm old enough to say these things. But anyways, tonight, whatever time it is that you're watching, we're gonna talk about anime. That's what we're gonna introduce anime into the Fandom Friday. We're gonna talk a little bit about what is anime, what are some good animes to watch, where you can find them, and all that jazz. So first things first, babe, how did you get into watching anime?
So I know I started watching with DBZ, it was Saturday morning cartoons, but one that looked really cool.
So what is DBZ for those who might not know what DBZ
The
is?
Dragon Ball Z. I feel like we used to have it. It could have been on WB. I don't even know what channel they had it on. Maybe it was Fox.
Fox?
Yeah, but it was somehow the one anime that made it over into Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, all right.
And that was a staple for my generation.
Yeah, so for me, it was Inuyasha. And at the time I really didn't know that there was a whole genre called anime. I just knew that it was some Japanese show that came on late night on Cartoon Network, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the love relationships and the kagomes.
Yeah, the kagome and Inuyasha. Just replace that with Marco Polo. We gotta do that one day. So wait, what hooked you? Where did you just change the channel and didn't flip it off of it, or?
I mean, I think at the time, I definitely watched a lot of, what do you call it? Cartoon Network. So I think it was just a matter of I would go between Cartoon Network, I think Fox Family or ABC Family, depending on what year it was and what they called themselves at that time, and then maybe Nickelodeon. And so I would just kind of hop around and whatever had a good storyline. And I mean, at that time, I feel like it was probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, so there wasn't a whole lot on I think Nickelodeon turns to Nick at Night, and I was I've seen all the episodes of I Love Lucy. I don't need another episode.
Ghost Rider. Is that show anything good?
I don't think I ever watched Ghost Rider on Nick at Night, but
that's
all right.
What I think of when you say that.
Yeah. So what do you think led to where we are today? I feel like today we are full on otaku, which is just someone that is hardcore into anime and nerdy things, gaming and all that kind of stuff. I'm just into anime myself, but Jay's in I think the trifecta: anime, manga, and games.
Huh. That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, I guess.
Hello, Cheryl. So yes, love you.
So I feel for me, it was everybody grew up and saw Batman and Superman in cartoons, but at some point they are not really that cool,
Mm-hmm.
Superman's very Boy Scoutish and just very what's going to happen. In anime, there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of interesting stories that never really, those concepts never get brought up anywhere else. So I think that's really what got me.
Okay. Oh.
And a lot of the favorite ones are really different concepts. It's not typically a big trend in certain things for a lot of my ones I like. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, you the best.
You and Bill are our favorites. So, with all of that said, I feel like that leads into what is anime. So you brought up Batman, Superman, and all that kind of stuff. So I feel anime is to manga what traditional American DC Marvel comics are to Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, like anime is.
I mean, I would just say like the animated versions of them.
Yeah,
It's like not
that's
all
literally
Saturday-
what I just said.
No. I'm saying not all Saturday morning cartoons had comics or cartoons about it. But yeah,
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
See,
that
this is why you don't have nerds talk about it.
Oh my gosh. I was just trying to say, like, for someone that might not consider themselves a nerd, that like anime is the animated version of a Japanese cartoon or comic versus like DC and Marvel, like the cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, at least when I was a child, like Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, all of that, they originated as comics as well. So
yeah.
I meant to do some like research before going live to see if it like to be considered an anime, it had to have been a manga before.
I think that's actually one of those questions that's hotly debated among a lot of people. So I know when I went to Quirktastic's meetup group here, and they had a lot of people of color like meetup group for nerds. One of the questions they gave out like little name tags with questions, and one of them was, "Is this American cartoon Avatar: The Last Airbender, is that an anime?" And people like could not agree. There's like 2 or 3 factions to it.
Yes. All right, Cheryl, we're going to get into that today as well. Where to get started. So
wait, we should answer. So what do you think an anime is?
I said it.
Just Japanese cartoon?
I just said it's something that a comic turned into a animated series. So
for me, I consider it just an animated Japanese cartoon, but typically, I think there's like a style to it when you say Japanese, but I wouldn't know how to describe that style.
I mean, I think that it is stylized, and I think that you could totally have an anime that hasn't been a comic before. But I feel like at this point, if someone were to make something like that, like Avatar, then it's like in what's the word I'm looking for?
Like it's an
homage. It's like an homage to the anime style, and they're choosing it as a source. So like it is an exception to the rule. But I feel like traditionally speaking, it started off as a manga that has been made into an animated series. All right. So where do you watch?
I watch all over. I read manga because I have some favorite stuff that you want to get more of. And most of these anime, so like anime takes a long time to produce and make. So they don't come out that fast if they're new. But they usually have a manga that comes out every week, and that's one of those popular things in Japan. So yeah, I read manga, I watch anime on all the apps, watch some on Prime Video today, do Netflix, do Crunchyroll, do Funimation. There's Funimation and Crunchyroll are the two big anime not producers, but
production houses.
No,
distributors is a good word.
Distributors, actually. So they don't. Well, Crunchyroll produces some now, but Funimation doesn't.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Like, I was gonna say, like, I started with a little bit of stuff that would like happen to find on TV, and then eventually I like between dating Jay and like our friends really enjoying anime, I started getting more and more into it. So I used to be like strictly only English dubbed anime, and like very recently, like as in like the last week or two, I've started like actually being okay to read. Because I feel like it also opened up the world of different categories of anime, because there's like romance, there's shoujo, which is like girly anime, shonen, which is like a little bit more like male, it's a male based, and there's like a whole bunch of like different action, adventure, fantasy, all sorts of different categories and genres that you can get into when you get into anime. But as Jay was saying earlier with manga, which literally this week I've probably read my first manga, because I was just like, I love certain stories, and like Jay said, it takes forever for it to get animated. And I'm like, I want to know. Like I found out by watching a YouTube video that one of my favorite anime series is called Kiss Him Not Me. And it's totally 100% shoujo, like girly, awkward. Probably not where I recommend starting if you are if you're like new to anime. But I found out that there's like a whole other season, if you will, if you actually read the manga, there's like the story continues. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should just start reading manga and like get with that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like a lot of people don't realize that there's anime for kind of everybody.
Yeah.
They just see what's popular, what like the one or two people that they know watch, and they're like,
Mhm.
I'm not about this, I don't know. But then there's a lot of different stuff out there.
Mhm.
But I do have a question for you. So most people are afraid to start reading manga. Were you afraid? And like, how do you feel now reading it versus watching it?
I mean, it wasn't so much that I was afraid. It's more for me, and I think I've gotten to a space where reading has become like work, like a chore. Granted, it's more of like, oh, I've been reading like personal development, business building, wine books, and that kind of thing. So it's like an education, and I'm like basically taking myself back to school versus like reading for just like fun and shiz and giggles, right? And I haven't done that in so long that I kind of forgot about how relaxing it actually can be. So like sometimes I'm just like, I just need to turn the TV on and like and not like think. So I don't know. It wasn't that I was scared to like check it out. Like I've read comics before and it's fine. But yeah, so I'm happy that I actually like picked up well, not a book. I just did it on my phone, but
tomato tomato. Did you think you'd like it when you first tried?
I thought, I mean, I guess not. I don't know. I just felt like, it's whatever. Like I felt like I'd rather just watch it on TV. Like I don't have to put any forth any effort to just like zone out on the couch that, or like, you know, at a screen than it would be, well, I guess at a screen. So I was wrong in that retrospect. So yeah. What anime, if you had to tell someone, hey, start watching anime, what anime would you recommend?
We talked about this.
You can't take mine.
Say Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's like approachable. Well, it's one of those that gets better as you go, so maybe not. Let me think about it. You answer first.
Okay, so I like Avatar. I feel like anime cruise. Yeah, there's got to be an anime cruise somewhere. I totally agree with the Avatar statement because I feel like it's enough like American, especially since we're US based and like most of our peeps are US based. Like, you know, if you've watched cartoons, you've never really gotten into anime, it kind of like bridges that gap in that it's stylized like an anime, but it's very like, I think, American forward and American created. So like it's right there in bridging the gap. But if you're like, I'm ready to get into some anime and I want to know like the full style, I want a good story, I want all of the stuff, I tell everyone, like anytime I talk to someone, I'm like, Full Metal Alchemist, do it. Just do it. Just watch it. It is an emotional roller coaster. It is awesome. Like it's about two brothers and you know, it deals with fantasy and alchemy and their journey to really, it's like very like family oriented. There's episodes that are like super comedic. There are episodes that are super dark. It like runs the gambit of all of the things. And then there's like, so I would say Full Metal Alchemist.
I'm just laughing because the thing that you didn't say that's the most important part is there's not too much overly weird stuff.
Yeah, it's not overly weird. It's a great show. And then there's like Brotherhood that gets a little bit on the weirder side, but like, and it's mad darker. But like, how many episodes would you say it is? Like,
I think Full Metal is probably like 24 or something, but the Brotherhood's like 56.
I feel like it's like at least 2 seasons. Like I would say 48 at least.
Yeah, well, Brotherhood's definitely longer though, like significantly longer.
Yeah. So in anime, and I definitely like, I wouldn't recommend something like One Piece, which is like thousands of episodes.
I have to explain this real quick in case somebody takes your suggestion. You know the difference between the two?
What's the difference?
So the original Full Metal Alchemist, what happens, like we were saying in manga, is sometimes the anime catches up to the manga and the manga's not done. So they made their own ending. And then in Brotherhood, they kept up with the manga and redid it all and made the true ending. Yeah,
I think I didn't know that, but I wasn't going to be able to answer that on the fly. So thanks for that. But I was, you know, like Full Metal Alchemist is basically like Game of Thrones. Because the TV show caught up to the end of the books, and now they did its own thing. And you know, George R.R. Martin can totally rewrite that ending.
You're gonna say Regina George.
Regina. You can't sit with us. You can't sit with us.
All right. So I got my answer. So I realized, all right, it's in 3 parts. So if they just want like action, then yeah, Full Metal.
Mhm.
If they are into like sci-fi or future or some thought provoking, I would say Ghost in the Shell. And then if they just want something, if like they're an older crowd but they like don't really know what they're getting into, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Cowboy Bebop's the most approachable. Like, each episode's like segmented in
its own like
happened.
Individual.
Yeah, there's an overarching story, but it's like short, segmented, and it's like got a really good vibe. Yeah, the vibe's cool.
Okay, I like it. I do remember Cowboy Bebop was something that showed up on.
I think Cheryl could do it.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. What about Samurai Champloo? Because the music is fire.
I think that's got to be like younger
crowd,
people of color, or no, just younger people into more
urban
themes.
So Avatar, Full Metal Alchemist, and then my third was going to be Fairy Tail.
You would recommend it to people?
I recommend Fairy Tail to people. Like if you are into something, because I feel like it's got this. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark as Full Metal gets. It's bright. It's fun. Like there's a little bit of fan service in there. So if you don't like cleavage, then maybe not. But like
is that term understood outside of anime?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Fan service. We'll cover fan service in a later Fandom Friday. But yes. So it's like. I think it's something that it builds up to like the full storyline. It is longer. I think we counted it. Wasn't it like 500 episodes?
Fairy Tail?
Yeah.
Oh, you should never tell people that up front.
It's long, but like, if you're looking for something to just sit down for, and
honestly,
watch an hour.
We'd like it, and we just went for it.
We went for it. So that's something, and these are all ones that I would recommend if you were trying to do it like also as a couple. Like Full Metal Alchemist, I don't think male, female, you can enjoy it. Fairy Tail the same way. Avatar also the same way. Now, I think if you wanted to recommend something that's like hardcore, like machismo, what would you say?
Like machismo isn't like you want to feel big and strong. There's like really cool fighting. Otherwise, I'd say Full Metal Alchemist because you got Armstrong.
But he's funny,
and like you've got good relations with everybody. But if you mean just violence,
like something violence that like intense, you feel like maybe not a lot of females would be into.
Berserk.
Okay,
Berserk's the one.
All right, and I'm trying on the fly think of like one that I feel like is like super girly.
I was gonna ask about funny. What's a funny like if they just want to enjoy it all?
Like a comedic?
Ooh, actually though, if you want feels, Assassination Classroom.
Oh,
I still think
I mean that's just the ending, and let's not spoiler alert people.
But you get to
I feel like that's a great ride. I feel like that's also a good comedic one. Until the ending.
Now, if you can really take some, I'll give you some.
I was gonna say if you were gonna go with something that was like a real like emotional roller coaster, like like it's like Grey's Anatomy, This Is Us, like literally you need a box of tissues every single episode, and that's
you want to watch something titled This Is Feels.
Violet Evergarden.
Yeah,
Violet Evergarden is there for you. That is the one.
That's for people that like to say, I like a good cry.
Yeah, if you want a good cry, Violet Evergarden got you. All right, you had something to say while I thought about a good female anime?
I feel like there's a lot of different types of people. So if like you're the type of person that likes thrillers or likes to like really think about something that you never would have thought about before, I know the movie got popular and it's unrelated, but Parasite the Maxim is an anime that you don't like. Or sorry, you didn't like. You haven't watched, sorry. But I don't think you'd like it because it's got gory stuff.
Yeah, I don't do that.
But it's a good one. It's super legit.
Okay, all right.
Super legit. I've never met anybody that watched it and was like, nah, I know about that one.
I mean, I guess if we're gonna go with, I think the classic for girly is Inuyasha, which is what got me into
Cardcaptor Sakura.
I haven't watched Cardcaptor. I know
Sailor Moon.
I didn't care for Sailor Moon. Sorry, I'm hurting people. I was gonna say. Classical. Inuyasha. This is my answer, Justin.
Oh, okay.
My opinion. Nobody like back up bump.
I didn't say boy bye.
Boy,
I'm
bye.
still here.
But I really do feel like, I mean, I feel like I have to watch Card Captor now because I keep seeing it and hearing about it.
I don't want it on the TV.
You don't want it on the TV? Well,
No,
you can go.
so pointless.
You can go play a Dota while I watch whatever I want to watch. But Sailor Moon, I do feel like it is very a classic shoujo girly anime that so many girls liked in my like age range growing up, and I don't know why. I just never
Tuxedo Mask.
it never clicked for me. It never hit me in my feels. But Inuyasha 100% was that for me. I'm trying to think of something that's like relevant now. That I guess like Fruits Basket is pretty classic.
That or in high school.
Oh, that's a great one, babe. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's perfect. It's reverse harem, which is like my jam.
Explain your terms.
And that should be a whole nother live as well. But basically, it is
which direction does it go, or how many directions does it go?
So, but basically, meaning that there is a female main character and there are male main characters that are all interested in this female as a love interest.
Tenchi Muyo. That was the harem one that got me.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to have a harem episode. We're going to have a harem episode. We're already going like way over time. Okay. So we talked about recommendations. We talked about watching it. I do like Funimation. I like the way it's like, it just looks better. I feel like it's more user friendly as far as the app is concerned on the Roku. But Crunchyroll is solid, but Crunchyroll also has ads. However, we do pay for Funimation, so there's that.
So the other thing though, we're in like the golden age of life. Like y'all don't understand the grind back in the day, but now you can just watch it on also Netflix and Amazon Prime, and Hulu have legitimate anime.
Yeah, they do. And
most people got this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I have turned a new leaf. I started reading manga. I've now gotten into like I've leveled up from just like a standard anime otaku to now like a fujoshi. And fujoshi, we're gonna get into that next week. Right. And what that means and what all that context is. And I'll give you some recommendations and where you can watch them for that.
So sign off question for you.
Yeah.
So you covered where and what to watch, but like for people starting out to where you are now, why do you watch it?
Why do I watch it?
Yeah, I think why anime? Why not anything else?
Why anime? Because I feel like it takes a whole nother. It's such a good question. So like I feel it gives you different feels from like a live action in terms of like it gives you the same like it's fantasy. It can go so much farther because it's animated. Granted, yes, there's so much like special effects and Marvel and Michael Bay movies and all these things out there, but like that it's just a whole nother level of I don't know, cutesy. I don't know. It connects me with like my younger self on a certain level. Granted, there are some topics and content that is like totally adult.
Violet Evergarden.
Adult like friendly and adult like or 100% just adult content.
Like that episode where she wrote a letter to somebody's dead son.
Stop it. No, we don't need to have the feels.
They need to know what type of feels.
It's feels, dude. They are in wartime. They are doing some things, but I love it because it's also kind of cathartic in the sense and like you can kind of detach from the rest of the world, like the real world, if you will, because it's like a cartoon and it's a little bit lighthearted. And you know that it's like 100% like not real. And like, because it's a cartoon. What about you?
Why? Mm-hmm. Yeah, variety of things. And they've got the coolest like scenes and I don't want to say concepts, but like scenarios. Yeah, that's the word. Scenarios. Mm-hmm. So like scenarios that you can think of in like the world that they build in there. It's so different than what they do elsewhere. Like Marvel did a great job of building their whole cinematic universe, but like you don't see that building and that variety anywhere else.
Love it. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Tonight's episode is brought to you by
the letter of the day.
The letter of the day. By a Adagio Merlot. This is actually a wine of mine. So if you would like to give that a try, feel free to reach out to me. It is quite delightful. Actually, I take that back. It's probably 100% sold out because this is like a 2015 vintage. It's been in our, I'm gonna say it's been in our family.
2013.
It's a 2013 vintage.
We're drinking history.
We are drinking history right now. But if you would like to try some of my wines or just any wines and you have questions about that, please reach out. Happy to help you with that. But yeah, tune in next week so we can talk a little bit more about Fujoshi and Boys Love.
It's like
Boys love type of anime, which is now my new favorite thing in the world. And yeah, and if you are enjoying this content, if you want to see more, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And of course, I now have a Patreon, so you can search me on patreon.com and Wine Diva Tierra. And I would love it if you would consider supporting more content being made by me, your girl T, and then, sometimes special guests, this guy.
Ooh, I don't want to be Special J.
All right.
It's a horrible nickname.
Have an awesome sauce rest of your day, evening, whatever time. Love you lots. Ciao.